good evening, and you are so welcome to this beautiful subject of our masterclass for tonight, the power of a morning routine. This is a subject so close to my heart and one that I truly believe in, one that I want to share with as many of you as possible. So I'm going to be live here on Facebook, and I'm also going to try to simultaneously go live on Instagram. So I'll hang on for a second because it's always a little bit of a delay and see if you can pop in. And if you do come in, if when you're there, give me a thumbs up and let me know if you can hear me and see me okay. I've done a sound check, I've done a light check. I think everything is okay. So I'll just sit and wait for company to join me. And I am very excited to be here. I can't wait to share this topic with you because it's something I really believe in. And I know if you become accustomed to this habit, you will too. Now, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try and see if I can connect with Instagram while we're waiting. So bear with me while I do that. And this is totally out of my comfort zone. So let's see how we go. Okay, so I'm pushing the go live button on Instagram. And I shall sit here quietly and wait and see if we get live. We go live. Don't think we're live on Instagram yet. Don't let me down. Are we live? You know something, if I check on my own phone, I might be able to. Yeah, Colette, you're my guardian angel. Colette is there. Great to see you. Fantastic. No, we're live. Ah, Philomena's there too. Fantastic. I'll wait until a couple of more people come in. Oh, sorry. Okay. Colette, can you hear me? Bernie's there too. Ah, fantastic. Okay. Yes, fantastic. That's great. Okay, wonderful. Ah, Rosemary's there too. Brilliant. Listen, I'm so delighted to see you here. I really am, because a morning routine is something that has literally changed my life. For the longest time, my morning routine was frantic. It was getting the boys out to school. It was making sandwiches, books getting lost, looking after the dogs, cooking breakfast for the boys, which I did every single morning. They got to cook breakfast every single morning. There was always some drama. There was always something. There were not calm mornings. I wish I could turn back the clock and just do it all again, which of course I can't, because I would do it so differently. So listen, you're all so welcome. I am really excited to delve into this topic, and I'm going to wait just for a couple of minutes, if you don't mind, until yes, Claire can hear me loud and clear. Oh gosh, she's got thunder, lightning, and loads of rain in Spain. Interesting. Actually, there's quite a few people who can't be here tonight because they're on holidays, and some of them are in Italy and they're not having great weather at all. Actually, the weather at home is amazing, and that's just the way it goes. So I'll give it a few more minutes, but it seems that we're live here and we're live on Instagram, and I'm actually just going to see if I can see it on my phone, because then that's the proof of the pudding and I can see it. Let's see. Maybe not. But listen, I know you guys can see me, so it doesn't matter if I can't see it, because, oh, hang on. No, that's great. That's the first time I've ever been able to do that. Brilliant. 23 degrees in Letterkenny. That's absolutely amazing. Okay. Yes, you're all beginning to come in and everybody can see me here. Dolores is there too. Dolores is well used to the power of her morning routine. She has an amazing morning routine of her own because she is in my Forever Fabulous membership. I'm delighted, absolutely delighted to see you all coming in. Now, there will be a replay, so if anybody wants to watch this tomorrow morning as you're doing your morning routine, or maybe over the weekend, please do, because I would like you to try it. And I would like you to try it for at least 5 or 6 days. just till you get the hang of it, until you see exactly what it feels like to have this morning routine. In fact, you need to do it for about 21 days really to see a probable huge effect, but that's okay. So I'm going to start, and you're all so incredibly welcome, and I am really, really excited. So first thing I do to start my morning happens before I even get out of bed in the morning. And the first thing I do is I give gratitude, absolute gratitude in the morning, every single morning as I'm in bed. And when I wake up, what I say to myself is, lots of people coming in, brilliant. What I say to myself is, right, Anne, 10 things you're grateful for today. And that might seem like a lot. So if that seems like a lot to you, start off with a little bit less. Maybe say 5 things I'm grateful for today. I always aim for 10. And you know something? I always end up with 20. Honestly, even in the bad days, I don't really struggle once I get into the flow of it. And it could be things like, I'm so grateful for my comfortable bed. I'm so grateful for my family. I'm so grateful to live in this lovely house. I'm so grateful for the view we have outside. I'm so grateful for my friends. You know, all these things. I'm so grateful for my health. There are many, many, many things that you are grateful for that you take for granted. You don't even realize how grateful you are and how lucky you are to have these things in your life. But when you consciously start your day in gratitude, and when you consciously say these things before you get out of bed, you've achieved something before your feet even touch the floor. So remember that. It is probably the most powerful thing that I do. And conversely, as I'm going off to sleep at night, I do the same in reverse. I will say, right, Anne, 10 things you're grateful for today. Always come up with 20. And I get off to sleep happy, knowing and being so grateful. And sometimes I feel that I'm kind of turning off my little list a little bit because I'm kind of grateful for the same things a lot of the time. And then I'll put in a why. Why am I grateful? And that changes things as well and makes you even more appreciative of what you have. So hands up or thumbs up if anybody or any of you already practice gratitude, because gratitude changes everything, absolutely everything. It opens up your mind. It gets rid of negativity, and it gets rid of that nagging little voice in your head that always puts a little spanner in the works by saying, you can't do this, you're not able, you're not good enough, da 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 da. Gratitude changes everything. So that is the very, very first thing that I do. Then I get out of bed, and next thing I do is I open my window. Even in Donegal, in the depths of winter, I would open my window, and I do this for a couple of reasons. As you're sleeping, the air is becoming more stagnant, and any feng shui experts here would know that energy in a room is really, really good. So when you get that clean air coming into your bedroom, and Nilla's there as well, she was basking in the sunshine in Sligo all day long today. So when you let that air into your room, it immediately helps the energy in your space, and it's good for you to feel it on you. And then the next thing I do is when the window is open, and if I'm wearing my glasses, because I wear contact lenses, so in the morning I will put on my glasses. So I'll take off my glasses, and not through the glass of the window, because I don't want this light to be refracted, and I don't want it to be refracted through my glasses either. I open the window and let the light come into the backs of my eye, to the rods in the backs of my eye for a couple of minutes. And what that does is it starts something called reticular activation, and it starts your natural circadian rhythm, so that your body knows now that you're up, you're awake, and that sets a good cycle for bedtime as well, so that you'll get cleaner, better sleep at nighttime when you go to bed, because of this little practice that you did in the morning. I'm just going to have a little peek into Instagram because I can't see the same loads of people on Instagram. Okay, so windows open, and you've got the light into the back of your eye. At that point, I might drink some water, because I always have a glass of water by my bed. Water is very, very important. I would urge you to keep your hydration up all through the day. What I do is I get a 2-liter bottle of water in the morning, and I stick a little sticker. There's loads of little stickers in my journal, and I stick a sticker on the lid so I know it's mine, and then I can monitor my intake of water. I would aim to drink 2 to 3 liters of water a day. Most days I will do that. So I'll have a little glass of water, and then I will make my bed. And this might sound crazy. And don't come to me and say, oh, you need to air your bed. I change my sheets enough that I don't feel I need to air my bed. But I make my bed, and I make it beautifully. And I plump up the duvet, and I plump up the pillows, and I put the cushions on, and I put the throw on, and I have it looking like a hotel bedroom. Because I can tell you, before I did this, There could have been days where I might be getting into that bed at night when I was really making it, or I might have half made it in the morning. Now I make my bed beautifully and pristinely every single day. And there's science behind this. There's been a TEDx talk about it. I believe there's a book about it. And I do know that there was oh, Nuala, thanks for the beautiful sunset and a harvest of abundance of apples and blackberries. I have a good recipe for you, Nuala, but you probably have one anyway, of gorgeous apple and blackberry jam. See? And there are things that you could take for granted unless you consciously look at that sunset, look at your punnet or your basket full of blackberries and apples and the gorgeous jam that you're going to make and the memories you're going to make for your grandchildren because they're eating your jam. I always remember my granny's blackberry jam, always, and my mum's as well. So make your bed beautifully. But there was a US Army guy, very high profile, who gave a talk to college kids who are graduating in the States from quite a prestigious university. And his talk was all about the importance of making your bed. Now, I wished I taught my boys how to do this, or insisted that they do this in the morning, because the psychology behind it is when you make your bed in the morning, you've achieved something quite productive and amazing before you've left your bedroom. So if you think about it now, you're only up a couple of minutes, but already you've done your gratitude work in bed. You've opened the window to get fresh air into your bedroom. You've got that light into the back of your eye, and you've made your bed, and you've had some water. And that's all a win-win-win. I'm going to check to see if there's anything, questions or comments coming up on Instagram. Oh, loads of people on Instagram. Isn't that interesting? I always thought Instagram didn't like me. I couldn't do Instagram. And all of my people were always, I mean, during lockdown, all those lockdown lives every single day during lockdown happened on Facebook. And now I think everybody's on Instagram. Isn't that interesting? But anyway, I digress. Mary Madigan is saying it's very interesting. Mary, it's true. It's a truth. And there's more coming. It is quite fascinating. Okay, so the next thing I do is I will take my Simprove. I take Simprove every single morning. It has to be taken on an empty stomach, and I have to wait for at least 10 minutes before I eat anything. And that Simprove has been a life changer for me as well, not only for my IBS and my bowel, but for my energy, for my skin, for my health, for my mental health, for lots of things. And if anybody is interested, I did a really interesting talk with Uno Hagen, who owns Mars Pharmacy, who is so passionate about gut health and the microbiome and the whole gut-brain axis connection, which I firmly believe in as well. It's here on the Room Junkie page somewhere if anybody wants to see that, or maybe I'd find it and pin it. So I take my Simprove and I rinse out my little Simprove cap, and then I go outside. And I would urge you to do this in Ireland as well, even if the weather's not great. Get outside, and if you can get outside at that time in the morning for 5 or 10 minutes and really let the light into the back of your eye, you've set yourself up in many ways, and you're setting up your circadian rhythm. If you're a bad sleeper, and if you do this for a while, you will notice, and I'm not a great sleeper, I have to work very hard on my sleep hygiene and my sleep habits. But this makes such a difference. Now here, because obviously it is sunny and obviously we have a nice swimming pool, I have started, even though I'm not a swimmer, but I have started every single morning. The first thing I do is, as I'm leaving my bedroom, I actually leave in my swimsuit and take my Simprove, and then I go outside and I get into the pool. And the water is much cooler at the moment. Colette, you might feel the same. The temperatures have definitely gone down quite a bit, but I find the water quite cool. And I used not like this. I've become addicted to it. So I go in now and submerge myself in the cold pool first thing in the morning. And you know what that does? It actually seems to reset and recalibrate me. Mentally, I feel different. If I was concerned or worried or anxious about something before getting in, that seems to leave me, honestly. And okay, you mightn't have a pool in your back garden, but one thing that I had been doing when I was having my shower was I was finishing with a cold shower, and then I started having cold showers. And any of you who are sea swimming know exactly what I'm talking about, because this cold water does do something to your whole body equilibrium, and I love it. And I never thought that I'd ever say that, but I am saying that, and that's my daily dip. Now it's interesting, actually, when I come back in, it's not really part of my personal morning routine, but when I come back in my Forever Fabulous membership, this incredible membership of wonderful women that I have gathered together, and we're doing the most amazing work on our confidence and our mindset and our happiness and our joy, and just we're breaking the rules and changing everything. But every morning at 8 o'clock, after I've come in from my dip, I will send out a video prompt to the girls, and we call it our daily dip. It's our daily inspirational prompt. They're loving it because they're starting their day with this beautiful short piece of positivity every single morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every morning, 8 o'clock, it's there. Some will watch it as they're watching at breakfast time. Some will watch it later on in the day. Some watch it live, at 8 o'clock. But it starts their day off beautifully. So I think what I'm trying to impress upon you is that the more that you can do first thing in the morning to start off your day in a positive way, regardless of what's going on with your circumstances and the externals. I know, and it took me until my mid-50s to realize this, that my mind is the most important and most valuable part of my body. My mindset can overcome anything. And I'm old enough now to know that I can put up my hand and say to you, if there's nothing that I believe I can't do, if I really, really, really put my mind to it. Do I have to work at it? Yes, of course. And this is something that we do in the membership on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis, and it is working. Philomena, love the pool, so relaxing, just being near the water. Yes, and we have a lovely view of the Mediterranean as well. The pool is an infinity pool, and we were doing it all wrong for the last 2 years, but anyway, the water's all up now and the pump has been fixed, and it's just beautiful. And I love water, and water does ground you, and if you've got a water feature or a water fountain in your home, that's actually good for you as well and good for your energy. So anyway, I digress. I have my dip outside, and then I'll come in and I started taking collagen, a pretty potent collagen for my skin, because I'd noticed that particularly here, I've been getting lots of lines that just appeared from nowhere. And apparently this happens, it's almost like they come overnight. So I want to work on myself from within out, and it'll help my joints as well. So I take my collagen. And then I'll add some more water. And sometimes I'll do warm water with a piece of ginger and some lemon in it as well, and maybe even some turmeric, because these things are all good for you and good for inflammation. But water, 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 it definitely does boost your energy, boost your health, boost your mindset, and get you going in the morning. Just looking into Instagram again. Oh my goodness, so many of you there. I'll say hello to everybody later on, but it's lovely, lovely to see you. And if anybody has got questions, please, please, please feel free to ask them. So something I never used to do was have much of a breakfast. And I think it was because of my IBS, I started to have a very healthy breakfast. Now my breakfast is like a bit of a ritual for me. And it's slow. And even though my mornings are slow, I've never been more productive. I seem to get through so much. So my breakfast is porridge with bran and psyllium husk and chia seeds, some kefir, some Greek yogurt, some fruit, and I tend to eat the rainbow in fruit, whatever's there, and some nuts as well. I take my time eating it. I've actually got into the habit of putting my spoon down. Maybe you do this all the time. I never did. Like when the boys were small, I would have been just eating so fast just to get out that door and get them out the door. But now I take my time and I do digest my food, and I grind the coffee beans and I make fresh coffee. I used to always be a tea drinker, and now I think there's health benefits associated with drinking coffee, and I think I love the whole process of it. And maybe the milk here is just not the same as the milk at home, so my tea doesn't taste quite the same. So I have this gorgeous ritual, and I do take my breakfast outside. I'm lucky I can do that. But maybe there's a quiet space in your kitchen or somewhere in your house where you can look out onto your garden, somewhere that's beautiful. So even if it's lashing rain outside and there's a gale blowing, it doesn't matter. You're looking out onto something. Some if you're looking out onto water, some if you're looking out onto green fields, rolling fields. If you're in the city, you've got a cityscape, but there's going to be something, some point that is going to be attractive for you to eat your breakfast in. And that's a ritual in itself. And when I go to eat my breakfast, I always take my journal out with me. And I just realized this journal is almost finished. And I loved it. I absolutely adored this journal. And every morning I write in my journal. Sometimes I will write a lot, and other times I will write a little, but I will always write in my journal. And maybe for another day, I will teach you how to journal, because there is a process. I have a process. My women both in the Finding Your Fabulous Bootcamp and my ladies in the new membership all know how to journal now. And next week, I'm actually going to, they don't know this, but I'm actually going to, I have a whole, I've loads that we're going to do next week, loads just to get us into the habit. Winter's coming, and I want us to get into this positive frame of mind so that no matter what the weather's like, no matter how lousy we're feeling, we can summon up the energy from within ourselves by the things that we do. And they're not difficult. And that might sound that I'm saying a lot of things there, but it's not difficult. I think everything I do, it takes me half an hour. It takes me longer to put on my makeup, and that's the truth. So as I have my breakfast and I finish my breakfast, I will journal. Sometimes I might listen to affirmations on my phone as I'm having my breakfast. Visualization is something that I will do outside. I know that many of you know this. During lockdown, when we were at home, I used to go outside every single morning before my breakfast. And I would sit out on the balcony looking out onto Luxville. And sometimes I would have a hood up, and sometimes I could have an umbrella over my head, but I always went outside. And I did a Mike Julie guided visualization, because we knew that we were looking for somewhere in Spain, and we knew exactly what we were looking for, I suppose. So I did this visualization with him every single day, and it is so uncanny. This house is that house. You know, he talked about me sitting outside on the patio, looking out onto the ocean, hearing the seagulls, hearing the water. Back inside, he described my family inside. Now, Richard still hasn't been here, but everybody else obviously has. And the layout of the inside was exactly the same as I visualized. Everything is so uncanny, and here we are now. So visualization is something that I'm going to be teaching in the membership as well, because I truly, truly believe that it works. And if you have a vision board, put it somewhere. I used to keep mine down. I always have a ring light for when I'm doing lives. You can't see it, but it's here in front of me. And on the wall behind the ring light, I actually had my vision board with some things that I wanted on it. Some of you know that a long time ago, when I wanted a particular car, I actually had got a photograph of that car, and I pasted it on my vision board, and I looked at it every single day. I remember at the time I had no idea how I was going to be able to get this car, how I was going to be able to pay for it. But one day Neil came to me, he said, "Do you really want that car?" And I thought, yeah, I do. And I got it. And I, you know, the make, the model, it was a red CLK Mercedes convertible, black top, cream leather, walnut dash, 100% what I wanted. So you can call in so much. And if you get into the habit of doing this in the morning, because the way you do your morning is the way you do your day, I can tell you everything will emanate from that time in the morning, and what you do in the morning and how you prepare your mind. I only wish to God this topic was taught in schools, that our children were taught how to develop their mindset, how to be more positive, you know, all these life skills that we're coming to learn now at a later stage in life. If I'd known this in my 20s or my 30s, even in my 40s, you know, I would have been a far happier person. I know that, because for me, in my 50s, I went into the slump. And many of you have said to me, I'm in a similar slump now. You know, it's that stage of life. My boys didn't need me anymore. They were growing up and moving away. Mom had died. I was very close to my mother. Menopause hit me hard. At the time, I actually thought I sailed through menopause because I didn't get hot flushes. Well, I didn't know about everything else that goes with it. So I lost all my confidence, and it was a scary place, because I'm only a fairly high energy, confident enough person, but it went, and I became extremely negative, and I attracted all the wrong things and the wrong people into my life for a while. I really did, until one day I said, you have to do something. And I realized education was what I was going to do. I was going to learn how to get out of this. So I learned all about mindset and the science behind it. And it fascinated me so much. And I turned my life around, and I've helped other women turn their life around. So it's these simple practices. So open your mind, even if this is something that you've never considered before, if you've never thought about actively working on your own mindset, I encourage you to try, because I'm 64. I can tell you that I'm living my very best life. I really, really am. Every day I work hard on optimizing my health. I wanted to optimize my longevity, because I definitely wanted to be here for my grandchildren. And if that means over and back to Australia, whenever we're lucky enough to have Australian grandchildren, that's what I will do. And I think all of us need to do this, because somebody said to me, very wise lady, Carissa Casey, she's the editor of Women's Way magazine. I was writing an article for them, and she said, Anne, do you know something? Women today, and I love this, women today in their 50s and 60s are like the teenagers of the 1950s. We are redefining how we act, how we behave, how we look, and how we are. And I know for me, the older I get, the bolder I get, and the shorter my skirts get. And I realize this top is dressed a little bit low, and the old Anne probably would have had a pin in it, up to here maybe. Oh no, life's too short. I'm sorry. I'm all for fun. I'm all for reinvention. I'm all for women helping women, and having our morning routine is a huge part of it. Catherine, my lovely Catherine in Carrigan Shannon. Hi, Anne, in the car. Hope I don't lose a live. If I do, I'll get the replay. Of course you will. But it's lovely to have so many of you here, because I think when we're all collectively together, even though we're scattered all over the world, there's a different energy because we're here, and that is just so, so, so beautiful. Another thing I do in the morning then to probably finish off my morning routine, I will sit in silence and I will do a little bit of meditation. I like to do that even if it's only for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And that is essentially my morning routine. Now, some of you might like to go for a walk at this time or go for a walk in the morning. By all means, if that's what you like to do, do it. I don't. I prefer to walk later on in the day because my morning routine sets me up, and I'm not a morning person, never was. But I love my mornings. I love the slowness of them, and I love the way it builds me up for productivity for the day, and it really, really does. And I love the way my morning energizes me. No matter how I'm feeling, I will feel better because of my morning routine. And the very last part of your morning routine is this: expect something amazing to happen today. Every day I say that to myself. It doesn't always happen, or sometimes it could be something amazing like Nuala finding the blackberries, in the hedgerows. But I do expect good things to happen. I do expect something amazing to happen every single day. So that's my morning routine, and it might seem like a lot, but you can ease yourself into it gently. So if anybody's any questions, ask them, because I'm more than happy if I see them here. Sometimes the questions don't always come up and the comments don't always come up, but if they do, I will answer anything that I can for you. Love to know if any of you have a morning routine at the minute, a conscious, deliberate morning routine. And if you have, is it something that's improved your life? Because I can tell you, my life's transformed. I'm a different person. I'm and I'm older now. I'm much more energized. I'm much more content within myself. I'm way more grateful. I'm much more positive, and I expect good things to happen. I actually do. I expect the good things to happen. Now, I will give you, because I consider this morning routine to be a success ritual. Really, it sets you up for success. And I'm going to go back to Instagram to see if there are questions over there. And then I'm going to give you a little shortcut. I debated doing this, but I might do just to get you started, because sometimes if I'm traveling, I'm not able to do everything that I would normally do in the morning. So I will have a little shortcut. Let me just see. Yes. Aideen, love my morning routine. It really got me through cancer treatment and recovery. Oh, Aideen, I didn't know that, and I am just so thrilled to hear that, because honestly, I'm telling you, the mindset, the improved mindset, the difference in your whole being and way of being, in your whole sense of being, changes completely, and you need to try it. You need to try it. Well, Adrian, I wish you the very, very best, and nothing but good health in your recovery. I see Anne Flanagan is there too. I don't see any questions as such, but you know what? If questions come in and I don't see them, I will answer them tomorrow. But I just can't emphasize enough. Even if you think what I'm saying is nonsense, some of the girls in my membership were some of the biggest skeptics that ever walked the face of this earth, and they didn't believe in anything I said. They certainly didn't believe in journaling. And there's one lady in County Derry, and she most definitely didn't believe in any of it, but she thought she'd give it a go. And what that lady has manifested is absolutely off the Richter scale, and it's just fantastic, really fantastic. And she'd tell yourself that she didn't believe it. She always said it. But I know the difference that this has made to all of our lives. And I know it will make a difference to your life as well. No matter what age or stage you're at, that actually doesn't really matter. I think, like with our habits, you take on a habit and it becomes, well, it's a practice first, then it becomes a habit, and then it becomes who you are. And you just do it. It's a bit like driving your car. You get into your car and you drive and you don't even think about it because it's what you do. So when you start your morning routine, and when you get into it, and even if you don't see results for a little while, the sleep is going to take a little bit of time. to kick in. Your hydration is going to take a little bit of time if you're not great at drinking water. Maybe you don't exercise very much, and it's going to take you a little bit of time to get back into walking again. But once you have your routine, and I've given you all that I do all of that every single morning. Sounds like a lot. It's not. It's very easy. Remember to say before, open up the blinds wide, morning open window. Absolutely. You're dead right, Philomena. Curtains back all the way. Every little bit of that precious light, bring it into the room, and then open the windows. And I used to open the big window, even on a wild, wet Donegal day, and let that, I've taken a cup of fresh air, which I loved, and I could feel the air coming into the room. And then I'd open, and Philomena, you're a nurse, so you know what I'm talking about. The rods at the back of your eye, catch that light, and that wakes you up for the day. Nature's way. It was the way it's meant to be. But if you can get outside for 5 or 10 minutes in the morning, even if you have somewhere where you could have your coffee outside, if you had a balcony or a sheltered spot in your garden or something, or a covered area, I would do it, because it's a very positive, beneficial thing to do. And have you noticed, none of these things cost money. These are all just practices and things that you do. So, but they cost something more than money, something much more valuable than money, and that is your time. Like, you're here tonight, and I am so thankful to you, because your time is your precious, most precious commodity. So don't waste your time, And if you think about it, and I will put my hand up here, I could have spent a half an hour scrolling on my phone in the morning before I even got out of bed. I don't do that anymore. And what I do now is so much more beneficial to me and to my health and to my mental health. I'm going to see if there are any questions over at Insta. Yep. Breathing and meditation. She's doing meditation with Jerry Hussey, who's fantastic, and health with Holland is hard to work. Yeah, the breathing for your Vegas work, absolutely. Water, coffee, gratitude, walk on the beach. Mary Jeffries is in. Lovely to see you. Mary and Ellen. Oh, it's lovely to see all these fabulous. Hi, Mary. Lovely to see all these familiar faces coming in. And there will be a replay. So if you didn't catch the beginning of this, you'll catch the end. So now I'm going to give you a little bit of a cheat sheet. If it's a thing that you think that I can't do all that in the morning, this is what you must do. And this is my non-negotiable. Most of mine is non-negotiable, but this is my absolute. Say I'm traveling early in the morning or something. Before I get out of bed, 10 positive affirmations leading on to 20. Open the window, always. Light to the back of the eye, always non-negotiable. Make your bed, absolutely non-negotiable. And when you get used to seeing your bed so beautifully made first thing in the morning, you've accomplished that before you even leave the room. And that is a fantastic feeling. And this is all, your subconscious is sucking all this and, taking all this in and loving it. And it grounds you and it makes you feel good. And anything that makes you feel good, color makes me feel good. We're going to do a huge piece of color and energy with in the membership in the next couple of weeks. I have a color expert, Gabby Greenberg from London, who's amazing, who's coming in to talk to us about color. So things that energize us, really, really important. So making your bed in the morning, really important. Hydrating with water, non-negotiable. You must do that. You absolutely must do that. And if it's a thing that you haven't time to journal, read yesterday's journal. Read it very quickly. And it will actually ground you and help you. And there's something lovely about reading over your journal, especially when you're reading over your journal. Actually, I must start at the beginning of mine, because now that I'm coming to an end. Oh, wow, just look at this. 160 fabulous women were at my event in Harvey's Point on the 25th of 2nd, 2023. Oh my goodness, that's how shows you how long ago this journal is on the go. I've listed raffle prizes for there as well. But it's lovely to look over. See, I always journal in the present as well. I always journaling in the I am doing this now. I am feeling, I am confident, I am energized, I am healthy, I am well, I am going on a trip to France, even though I have no notion of going on a trip to France. I just want to go. You always write in the present tense. You always state it as an I am, and there's power in that. So read over yesterday's journal, and then this is one thing that you must do. Actually, one thing I forgot to say to you was every morning when I journal, even though I have actually stated my gratitude list, I write it down as well. And I always get a nice pen. I love these pink pens. Let's do this. This one says it's a little inspirational message in each one. Get a pen that writes nicely, that's comfortable. It doesn't have to be an expensive pen, but one that writes nicely. I love a nice journal. I love one that feels nice, and I love one that has nice vellum. And I have a couple of these Pepe Lamy ones. Are hard to get, but I love them. Another thing in my journal too, I keep this photograph, so I'll change this into the new journal when I start it, probably next week. This is a photograph of Anne when she was 7, and I often talk to that little girl, because sometimes when you talk to yourself as a child, not sometimes, all the time, you'll talk differently. You will be kinder, you'll be more supportive, you'll be more loving, you'll remember her hopes and dreams. You're still that same little girl. There's just a few years on the clock in the between her and you, so it just makes you a little bit kinder to yourself. It makes you love yourself a little bit more, and that's one thing that this morning routine is. It's self-love at its best, and that's all I want for you. Self-love. I was thinking about this the other day. I'm reading a book, and it was mentioned in it, and it was about being full of yourself, as in self-full, as opposed to the opposite of selfish, because think about this. When you're on the plane, and this is a commonly used analogy, and there's a bit of turbulence, and the air hostess comes on and says, if the masks come down and you're traveling with a child, take your oxygen first before you actually attempt to look after your child. Well, that should be our mantra in life. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't help anybody else. You can't be your best for anybody else, be it your kids, your partner, your friends, your colleagues, your parents. You can't look after anybody else until you look after yourself. So self-love is very important. But anyway, in this book, it's actually an audiobook, and I'm listening to it, and she said, you need to be full of yourself. Well, I can remember growing up in Carrick, if you were told you were full of yourself, that was an absolute insult. Or you might hear somebody saying, oh, she loves herself, meaning she was vain or whatever. So is it any wonder that these negative thoughts creep in? Because they creep in. These self-limiting beliefs are there from a long, long time ago, and they didn't come yesterday or today, and they're still with us. So we have to do a little bit of work to help all of that and to encourage us to be our best selves. So that is what your morning routine is all about. Still no questions, but listen, that doesn't matter. Ask any questions you want. Send me a direct message, or send me. Send me a direct message. Send me an email. Send me whatever. Speaking of emails, I'm changing my email. So if you're on my mailing list, I'm changing from a company called MailChimp to a company called Kajabi, because Kajabi is much better. So I actually cancelled my MailChimp today. So I think I've paid for another month, and then after that it will be gone. So I'm going to put a link here for you, or if you're on Instagram and I can't put a link, just say email, because if you're not on my mailing list, you won't get my emails every week, and you'll miss out on so much. And I have a gorgeous guide called 5 Steps to Feeling Fabulous After 50 and Beyond, and you'll get that. So I'm going to put that link here for the new Kajabi mailing list, because my courses are all on Kajabi, and it's a lovely platform. I'm actually moving up league. So, it's the BMWs of mailing list, but anyway, I love it and I want to use it. So that if you want your emails to continue, and I will be sending out reminder emails, and I say, please don't leave it until the last minute. Give me your permission to send the emails to this new subscriber. I will try and move everybody over, but I'm not sure with GDPR if I can really do that. But anyway, we shall see. The other thing I want to say to you is that some of you know that I've opened up membership to Forever Fabulous again. I started in July, and we have had the best, most incredible, most powerful time since July. It's a membership for women, primarily in their 50s and 60s. There's one or two who's more than that. And it's for anybody who's feeling a little bit stuck, who feels just that they were meant for more, or there's something else out there that they're just not totally fulfilled, even though life is grand, life is fine, and they feel guilty because they're thinking, well, I should be happy with what I have, but I want a bit more. And we have done so much work on self-development and confidence and mindset, and we've done work on strength training, and we've done work on a lot of internal work as well. Like every morning we have that morning dip at 8 o'clock in the morning, and the girls said they look forward to it so much and love it so much, and it sets them up for the day. But you've got Motivation Weekly. We've got monthly group calls where we all get together and chat, which is lovely. We've got monthly group experts coming in. This month alone, we've got a skin expert coming in next week, and we've got Gabby doing color. We've got all sorts of health and wellness and fitness and travel and confidence and success and mindset and loads coming up. In fact, I've said to the girls, if you want a topic, I'll find the speaker, and they're speakers of a really high caliber, so that the value and the community in there is just amazing. And it's all like-minded women, even though none of us know each other and or did beforehand, or very few. It's like we're all connected by this thread. We just all want to be better, even though we're in this stage, and maybe particularly so because we're in the stage of our life, this chapter of our life, where I do believe the best is yet to come. I do believe your best chapter, your best time is yet to come, if you allow it to be so. So that means opening your mind, breaking the rules, changing the rules, thinking differently about it. So anyway, if you would love to join, and some of you have said you would love to join, you can join for less than €1 a day at the moment. Now, I'll have to close it very shortly, but because some of you are on holidays and I got those messages today, I might leave it open for a few more days. But and I put a note here as to when exactly it will end, because if I say it's going to end on a certain date, it's going to end on a certain date. But I urge you, if you think, gosh, that's something I would absolutely love and I could do with that, just to give me that wonderful boost, you know. Look at, we do everything: fashion, beauty, fitness, strength training, age proofing ourselves, you name it, we're doing it, and we'll continue to do it. So it's a beautiful space. I'm so thrilled that I decided to do it. I've been thinking and doing this for a long, long time. It's a huge amount of effort and work for me, but I am delighted, absolutely delighted. And it's still a small group. So come in now, and everybody coming in now is able to, you're finding members. You know, you can actually help me build this group to be the group that you absolutely want, and something that you just couldn't live without, because it's a bit like your morning routine. Once you get used to it, this support and this strength and empowerment that we give each other, when women support women, amazing things happen. And when like-minded women support like-minded women, the fire is lit. So that is it. I said I would keep you for about 40 minutes, and I've gone 2 minutes over. So I'll end now. I urge you, try tomorrow morning, please, 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 and give it a good try. Hello, Kavita. I was chatting about you earlier, and you've distracted me now, my dear. Give it a go tomorrow. Give it a go. Give it a good go. Because, and even if you say, you know, if that niggling voice in your head says, you never stick to anything, you couldn't do that, you won't, you're not organized enough, you're not motivated enough, knock that on the head. It's simple. It's really, really simple. In fact, what I might do tomorrow is I might even write down the steps here. I'm not going to do it tonight because it's late here, and have them here so that you can maybe copy and paste them into a document or your phone or whatever, and you'll have that as your little guide to get you going. But this is a guide, so once you start, you do it your own way. You don't have to do it my way. You know, you can do it your own way. So think about this, open your mind to this, because, you know, I know, and so many people know, the difference this has made. The simple practice, and simple practices often, practices or simple changes repeated often and consistently will give you massive results. And that's always been the way. I think the consistency is key as well. You have to keep doing it. But I think it's a bit like me and my breakfast, or me and my Simproof. I couldn't do without that in the morning. So once I get so used to it, it becomes part of who I am. I couldn't start my day without my morning routine. I just couldn't. And if I'm going to be up somewhere, I have to be away off somewhere earlier, I just get up a little bit earlier to do it. It's worth it to me to do that. So listen, thank you so, so, so much for taking the time to come in. And to all of you here on Facebook and everybody over on Instagram. It's gas. There's loads and loads of people on Instagram. But I'm delighted to see you all. And if any of you are any way curious about the Forever Fabulous membership and what it might do to you and how it might improve your life for a very, very nominal financial investment, it'll reap massive rewards. I can tell you that. You know, the girls know it. I know it. It has been pretty powerful and phenomenal. We love it, and I have committed to doing it for at least a year. It'll be longer than a year. It's another thing I don't think give up either. I'm enjoying it so much, and I love seeing the results as well. So thank you so much for coming in. Have a fantastic rest of the evening, and I hope tomorrow's another gorgeous day for you all in Ireland. Get out and get your vitamin D, have your cup of tea or your coffee out in the garden, and do try and think about establishing a morning routine, because let me tell you, your future self will hug you very tightly and thank you very much because of it. So good night from me, and I'll see you soon. And this is where it gets tricky, because I think I have to finish up on Instagram first and then I finish up here. So bear with me while I turn out the lights on Instagram. Oh gee. Now this is where I can't seem to be able to turn off the lights on Instagram. Why not? Now, I don't like this, because this could possibly mean that okay, there's no end now button. And I can be sure it's me doing something strange. Oh, not quite sure what's happening there. Okay, I'll try and end things here instead. But if you're on Instagram and I mess up with ending the Instagram video, I will be able to post the replay tomorrow, I think. So let's see how we go here. Okay, I think that I've got it now, but I'm not sure about Instagram.